Hey, welcome to Political Science 101, the online version, fall of 2024, here at the College of Southern Nevada. I'm Dr. Francis Joseph Carlton III. I'll be your instructor for the semester. So welcome. Welcome to the course. What I want to do in this video is introduce you to both the syllabus and the course itself. All right. This is basically, Political Science 101, Introduction to, I always forget what the exact course title is in the catalog, but it's essentially Introduction to American and Nevada Politics. It's a 4-credit course. The 4th credit, is that Nevada component. So check out the syllabus. That's what I'll be talking about here. And apropos of that, access the Canvas homepage for this course, I would say 2 to 4 times a week to keep up with the flow of things. All right. The homepage. The homepage. All right, I'll come back to this in a little bit, but when you're doing the short writing assignment, for example, in order to see the prompt and the assigned readings and the Dropbox, you need to go to the home page where it's right there within a module. All right, don't access the short writing assignments, which I'll talk about in a bit. Don't access them through the assignments tab or the calendar function of what to do next. Because if you do that, you'll only see the Dropbox and you won't see the prompt or the assigned readings, and you'll be super confused. So go to the home page for all things for this course. I've centralized it all right there. Please, please, I'm begging you. All right. And on that home page, you will find a module devoted to the syllabus, where you will find the syllabus and this video, and I think an additional video. I may or may not do 2 videos here. Sometimes I do it, a video for the syllabus, a video for navigating the course. Sometimes I just combine them in a single video. That's probably what I'll do here. All right. Physically, I am at the Charleston campus in the C building next to the Student Union. I'm on the 2nd floor, room 269, office F for Francis. All right. If you want to swing by at some point, maybe make an appointment or hit me during office hours. Otherwise, for you guys online, I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday office hours, 9 to 10 in the morning, 1 to 2 in the afternoon through Big Blue Button. We can arrange a Big Blue Button invite. You'll let me know via email that you want to meet with me online. We'll agree on a day and a time. I'll send you out that Big Blue Button link, and we'll communicate in that way. All right. And once I get my on-ground office hours set, I'll let you know what those are if you want to swing by and do the in real life version of an office meeting. We can also set up a Big Blue Button meeting on a different day and time, just by appointment. We can negotiate that. I give you my email address there, francis.carlton@csn.edu. A lot of boilerplate here. Right. Again, it is Introduction to American and Nevada Politics. The text we're using is American Government in Black and White, 6th edition, 2023. That's preferred, that's optimal. Not preferred but adequate would be the 2021 version of the same book, 5th edition. You'll also be assigned some chapters from a book called The Sagebrush State, authored by a colleague of mine out at UNLV, Dr. Michael Bowers. You don't have to worry about getting that at all. I mount each of the appropriate chapters in an appropriate module as a PDF file. So when we talk about the founding of the great state of Nevada, you'll find within that module, in addition to narrated slides and a video introduction, you'll also see 2 chapters as PDF files from the Bowers book. Again, a lot of boilerplate here. How you are graded in this course. There's 4 components, 4 exams, multiple choice, at roughly 4-week intervals, 50 to 60 questions, usually about an hour and a half to take them, about a 2 to 3 day window. I'll tell you more about those as exam 1 gets closer, but that's the basic idea for those. I do drop your lowest exam score at the end of the semester. All right. That's 60% of your grade in the course, are those 4 exams where I dropped the lowest one. So technically 3. 5 current events quizzes throughout the semester. There's one due this first week on Friday. 5 of those, I drop your lowest one at the end of the semester. Each of those quizzes will be based on 3 current events articles posted on Canvas within the appropriately titled module. The first one is called, I believe, Current Events Quiz number 1. And within that module, on the home page, you will find the 3 articles, either websites or PDF files or Word files, and you'll find the quiz itself. If you access the quiz through the Quizzes tab or the Assignments tab or the Calendar tab, you'll see the quiz, but you won't see the articles, and you'll be confused. All right, access everything here in a central location, the home page, please. And check that out, I would say 2 to 4 times a week. That's worth 15% of your grade in here, the current events quizzes. All right, 15%. Discussion threads. I'll try to do 1 a week. I usually fall behind a little bit, so I try to do at least 10 by the end of the semester on appropriate topics in terms of what we're covering. That's 10% of your grade. For the discussion threads, I want you to do an original posting of your own and then a response posting to somebody else's post. Two postings for each discussion thread. And I really just want you to do a good faith effort on these. I don't have rigid expectations, just a good faith effort to engage. All right, modeling democratic behavior. That would typically mean something like 2 to 3 paragraphs for your original posting and 1 to 2 paragraphs for your response posting. I'm trying to give you all 100% on these. I'm trying, but you got to make some kind of a good faith effort to engage. That's 10% of your grade in here, and I drop your 3 lowest scores at the end of the semester. Finally, the last 15% of your grade is based on short writing assignments. I'll be choosing material from our textbook. I'll post the appropriate pages as PDF files within the appropriately titled module, like short writing assignment number 1, where you'll see the pages that you're dealing with. You'll see the prompt, and you'll see the Dropbox. 2 to 3 pages double spaced, pretty low key. And I drop your lowest one at the end of the semester. That's the final 15% of your grade in this course. All right, that's how you're graded in here. The exams, the current events quizzes, the discussion threads, the short writing assignments. A lot of boilerplate in here, right, with the syllabus. I'm not going to really go over that in any detail at all. The only thing I do want to note before we move on quickly here is artificial intelligence. Kind of a tricky thing these days for everybody. Trying to figure it out on the fly in real time. It's a bear of a thing to deal with as an instructor. Check out my policy on that in the syllabus. I don't mind you using AI. It can be a useful thing for sure. But I don't want it to replace your own writing, your own ideas, your own positions. Right? Those should all be your own. Informed by AI? Sure. Now, do you want to use AI as background for ideas, analysis, even some wording or organization? Sure. You know, it's useful for those purposes. For sure it is. But ultimately, I want to see your own work, end of the day. And I also want you to cite, you know, I need to sort of flesh this out a little bit here before short writing assignment number 1. But I do want you to sort of, tell me at the end of your writing assignment. I did use this version of AI, maybe ChatGPT. This is how I used it, and here's the citation. And there's some examples in the syllabus on that. So check out that note on AI. All right, I'm not against it, but I want to put limits and boundaries on its use as best I can. All right, moving quickly here. Course outline. What are we doing in here for the next 15 weeks? I'm trying to do about one module every week on average. Module 1, we'll talk about what it means to be a constitutional democracy, which is what the United States is. I'll explain what that means, what components are entailed in that sort of a method of governance. I'll lay out the alternative of autocracy or authoritarianism, an increasingly popular model in the world today, I am very sad to say. I'm going to, without apology, I'm going to make the case for constitutional democracy as the preferred method of governance. But realistically, right, autocracy is an alternative that's extremely popular. Current estimates are that about half the people of the world today live in constitutional democracies, either sort of better or lower quality, or somewhere in between. And then the other half live in autocracies, like in Russia or China, most obviously. So it's a bit of a battle for the soul of the world. And I'm going to take a position on that without apology. Also going to talk about our political culture, things that we believe as a people that shape our politics, both reflect it and shape it. And I'm going to talk about America's changing demographics, whether that's racial and ethnic, whether that's our changing age demographics, the demographics of where we live, all of that good stuff, all right? Broad concepts to start things out. Broad things that shape our politics. Tectonic plates. The founding of the American Republic, right? The American Revolution. The Constitution. We'll talk about the founding of the great state of Nevada. We'll be talking about the nature of American federalism as a method of governance, right? Where we have power at the national level, state level, local level, what that entails, what that looks like, what it means for our politics. And we also have some things that don't really quite fit that three-part vision of federalism, right? We have native tribes that are almost like nations within a nation. Where do they fit into American federalism? It's complicated. What about the District of Columbia, a federal jurisdiction that's not a state? That's an odd duck, right? What about our territories, like Puerto Rico and Guam, for example? Where do they fit in? Awkward. We'll talk about state and local politics here in the great state of Nevada. Primarily, a discussion there of fiscal politics, how the state raises revenue, how it spends revenue, how local governments raise revenue, how local governments spend revenue. Right, if you want to figure out politics, they say follow the money. No joke. We'll talk about civil liberties, right? Bill of Rights stuff, great things like right to keep and bear arms, free speech, freedom from cruel and unusual punishments, the right to due process of law, property rights, right to freedom from unreasonable searches and seizures, the Fourth Amendment, all that good stuff. We'll talk about civil rights, right? A key element of American politics, kind of the theme of the textbook that we're using, right? Telling the story of American politics through the story of civil rights. Whether that's the suffragette movement, getting the right to vote for women, whether it's the black civil rights movement, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's the Chicano civil rights movement, the various women's movements, all of that good stuff. We'll talk about the politics of Congress, that institution that we love to hate. We'll talk about the politics of the Nevada legislature, the politics of the American presidency, hot topic these days with an election coming in November. We'll talk about the politics of the Nevada executive branch. We'll talk about the politics of the federal bureaucracy, what some call the deep state. We call here in political science the federal bureaucracy. How does that work? Where does that fit into our method of governance? We'll talk about the U.S. Supreme Court, the lower federal courts, the Nevada Supreme Court, the Nevada lower courts. We'll talk about the politics of public opinion, what role it plays in our constitutional democracy, what the upsides are, what the downsides are. And we'll talk about the politics of the media, always a hot topic. We'll talk about the politics of interest groups, the politics of our political parties, and finally, but not least at all, the politics of voting in elections. All right, that's the syllabus. Check it out. All right, navigation of the course. Some pro tips there. Again, let me re-emphasize because it's so important. Please, I'm begging you, access the course regularly through the home page. That's where all the modules are with all the things. The exams, the study guides, the short writing assignments, the prompts for those, the ancillary readings for those. The discussion threads will be there. Okay, it's all there. Because again, if you access some of these assignments only through the calendar function, what's up next, you're not going to see all the related material that supports that. And you're going to wonder, wow, Carleton has a current events quiz. What's it based on? I don't see anything. Well, no, you don't, because you're not on the home page. If you go to the home page, you'll see current events quiz number 1. And within that module, you will see not only the Dropbox, not only the quiz itself, but you'll also see, right, the current events articles that it's based on. So I'm begging you. All right. The exams, again, that's where most of your grade is, 60%. I'll always post study guides for each exam. I'll try to give you 10 days to 2 weeks to look at those study guides. So that's useful for students. Current events quizzes, a best practice, and I know most aren't going to do this, but I'm telling you, if you want to optimize your scores on the current events quizzes, I would print out on paper each of the current events articles for that quiz. Have them with you when you take the quiz. Read those articles ahead of time, but then have them with you to cross-reference when you're taking the quiz. I'll give you enough time where you can do some cross-referencing of the material. Same thing for the exams, really. Right? I would print off the narrated PowerPoint slides that I'll talk about in a minute. And take the practice quizzes for each module. And have those narrated slides with you, printed off on paper when you take the exams. You can cross-reference them. You have enough time. I'll do a pro tips video when we get closer to exam 1. So, what you're going to find when you access the home page for this course, and the order of the modules will always be changing depending on what we're doing. Oh, and I don't mount all of the substance all at once. I know some instructors do that. I don't. There's a lot of material I post by the end of the semester. If I posted it all at once, you'd be overwhelmed. I post modules as needed. All right, so initially you're going to see at the top, right, maybe the current events quiz number 1, because that's due so early on, Friday. That'll be at the top. And within that module, again, you'll see the 3 current events articles and the quiz itself. Once that quiz deadline has passed, I'll move that to the bottom so it gets it out of your way. All right. Also at the top initially will be the syllabus. Later on, and after a week or 2, I'll move it to the bottom because it's no longer so much of a priority. I'll have the textbook information initially at the top of the queue, and then pretty quickly I'll move it to the bottom. All right. So note that the order of the modules is always changing depending on what we're doing at that moment in time. You're also going to see, right, what I call the substantive modules, the modules that articulate the material that we're covering. So you're going to see module number 1. All right, and within that module, it'll cover chapter 1 from our book. And what you're going to find within that first substantive module, right, talking about what it means to be a constitutional democracy, what is our political culture, what's the significance of our changing demographics, like our changing racial demographics, our changing age demographics. What you're going to find within that first module, all right, typically at the top there'll be an intro video where I lay out the broad approach within that module, broad observations about the material. I try to keep those to about 15 minutes. Okay, and then below that you're going to find a series of narrated PowerPoint slides. Okay, and I'll mount 2 versions of each set of slides. So there'll be a set of slides, right, on, let's say, constitutional democracy. What does that mean? You'll see the PowerPoint version, right, and that's fully functional. So if you access the PowerPoint version of those narrated slides, you'll see the narrated slides. You know, you can listen to them, view them. You can click on links. It's clickable, fully functional. So that's sort of preferred and optimal. But there'll be a second version of that same material below that. That'll be a YouTube video of those slides, because that's going to be easier for many, right? Because once you're accessing PowerPoint itself, right, that takes up a lot of memory. It's a large file, but it is optimal, and it gives you full functionality. But if you just want the YouTube video version of those narrated slides, where it goes through the slides just as a video, so it doesn't take up memory and so forth on your computer, you'll also see that. All right, so it'll look like there's twice as much material as there actually is. So you'll see a set of slides, right, PowerPoint version on constitutional democracy, and then below that, the YouTube video version. Same stuff, just different formattings. And that'll be true for each of the sections within that module. Next thing you'll have a module on demographics, or a set of slides on demographics. The PowerPoint version, the YouTube video version. So you'll see that, right? The intro video, I think a YouTube video, because it's easier for students. The substantive material on narrated slides and YouTube videos. And then, you know, maybe some ancillary material that seems useful to me, maybe a YouTube video that I pull off of YouTube that speaks to that topic in some way that I think is useful or entertaining or informative. And then at the very bottom, you'll find a practice quiz on that material. A practice quiz. Practice? We talking about practice? You mean practice? Allen Iverson, Philadelphia 76ers. I grew up in the Philly area. Check out the Allen Iverson practice rant. Practice quizzes. Those will be open right up until the opening of Exam 1. Once Exam 1 opens, those close. All right, so take those practice quizzes before Exam 1 opens, because a lot of the questions on the exam will be drawn from those practice quizzes. Do yourself a whole lot of good. All right, so I'm trying to give you material to help you thrive in this course, trying to maximize your chances of doing well. So that's how each module, substantive module, is going to look. Module 1, Chapter 1. Module 2, Chapter 2. Module 3, Chapter 3, with intro video, narrated slides, maybe ancillary material, and then practice quizzes. All right, that's what you're going to find on the home page within, in terms of all those modules. And then, right, once we get through the first few modules and we take Exam 1, all those modules will slide to the bottom of the queue, and I'll start mounting fresh modules as needed. All right. Okay, I think that's what I need to do for now. I'm trying to do this at 25 minutes. I'm right at 25 minutes. So, again, welcome to the course. Reach out to me as needed. I'm here as a resource for you guys. I want you all to do well. I want everyone to get through here, ideally with flying colors, or at least get through. Try to do what I think I need to do to make that happen. If there's other ways I can help you, just let me know. Okay, reach out. All right. So I'll leave it to you guys for now to get started with the course. Best way to get started, get the book, read chapter 1, check out module 1, the first substantive module. Check out those narrated slides. Check out that intro video. Take the practice quiz, and you're on your way. All right. Thanks all. Take care. Good luck, and I'll talk to you soon.